right, there he is. All right, you doing good? You hanging in there?
Yeah, I'm hanging in there. Are the Dolphins on the season? Is the question, but
No, that was already over already a couple weeks ago.
Yeah, you had it done before this.
Yeah, I was already done. That's all good. Now we have a disagreement with Perk here. We want to see where you stand.
Okay. I only heard from him that there was a disagreement, but I don't know what it is yet. So,
okay, exactly.
Yeah.
Good.
Yeah.
Good.
All right.
So here we go. Are you ready?
I'm ready.
Says that the Dolphins offense had to play better to win today. I say, no, the Dolphins offense did more than enough to win. It was the defense that failed them today. The defense, by the way, allowed the Bills to score in every possession in the second half. You do that, you lose. And you want to know what the opponents have done against the Bills this year? First week, 28. Then 10, 10, 10, 20, 20, 10, 10, and now 27. Today, the Dolphins scored the second highest most points against the Bills defense because the Bills defense apparently has allowed 10 points 5 times this season. 5 teams can only muster 10 points. So to me, the defense is the one that gave this game away. I think the offense wasn't perfect. I get it, but they did more than enough to win. Whereas the defense, to me, I have to lay the blame on them. When I look at the opponent, you're on the road and you didn't make one stop in the second half. Ball's in your court.
Yeah, and even from just a sheer perspective of what the score was, 30-27, then you lean in the direction that the defense didn't get it done in the second half. And that was a fantastic first half that the Dolphins defense played too. So kept them out of the end zone for that whole first half. They were close one time. Jalen Ramsey was able to get his hands on an interception that ricocheted off Keon Coleman. But so they were driving then, but yeah, I mean, touchdown, and then you give up the late field goal. A penalty lets them get into long field goal range. So, yeah, defense in the second half, the Bills made adjustments. I mean, and the offense, it wasn't perfect, like you said, but for Tua to only have 3 incomplete passes all game, and Mike McDaniel called it one of his better games.
The best.
Since he's had him.
Game he's ever the most balanced game he's ever had. The best game he's ever called. I will give him a ton of credit overall. They still made the penalties and the other mistakes, and the defense was shitty and all that. So it lies on him. But the offensive play calling, dude, it was phenomenal, man. It was really, really good. I like that. I enjoyed it. I really did. I gotta say.
Yeah. So that was definitely, and I know it's tough to take positives out of another loss when a team is 2-6 and there's no moral victories and all that, but you did see the signs of a team that can go and you go into Buffalo, play one of the better teams in the league, and you're right there in it with Tua playing the way he did in the second game where he's back. So you saw some of those signs. It's just at the end of the day, they hit a 61-yard field goal to win it, and now you're 2-6 instead of 3-5, which neither one of those are very good at this point in the year when you want to make the playoffs, and your backs are against the wall. But that part of it is what it is.
Yeah, and by the way, tell Perk that they scored 10 points the last time, now 27. So come on, give them a break. Anyway, here's the thing that we got to ask now. Why would that locker room believe in Mike McDaniel when you're 2-6? You're 4-10 in your last 14 games. You're now a 500 coach. You're not really – everything is trending in the negative pretty much overall. I do love that he ran the ball, and he's run the ball for 4 straight weeks, and I get it. And this is the kind of game he should have been calling for the last couple of years, to be quite honest. But still, you know what I mean? Right now, why – what's the use in staying with Mike McDaniel, dude, when nothing ends up working with this guy?
Well, the sense I'm getting is actually the opposite, that they're more positive coming off as shocking as it may be to a lot of fans, is that they are more positive after the performance that they put together and nearly pulling one off at Buffalo. So, and you mentioned it in your response to Tua's game. It was Mike's play calling was also on point in this game. So you saw some of the signs, and I feel like what's going to end up happening is that they do get the ball rolling to win some games, and still obviously having maybe another loss or two that looks like this, where they compete against a tough opponent, and then it's just not going to be enough to make the playoffs. But then you're just going to see enough positive signs down the stretch that you say, well, if we didn't have those 4 games where we were without Tua to start the year, the things would look so much differently. So I just feel like that's what's coming this second half now.
Yeah. I mean, we'll see. I mean, listen, if they score like what they're scoring right now, go look at the league. Go look at the scores. There's not a lot of scores that go to 27, 30 points. They're mostly under that or right around there. I read that also to Perk the last 2 weeks. Scores are pretty much right around there or just under that. So they did enough, but you've got to play a much cleaner game, dude. You've got to be better on defense. You got to be, consistent now on offense. Which, again, you want to spin a positive, you have run the ball very well for 4 straight weeks. That, to me, is an enormous positive. And all of a sudden, the offensive line, you're not complaining about that offensive line that much anymore.
No, not at all. And 149 as a team rushing in this one. Achane was over 100 with rushing and receiving together. So great game from him. I mean, Mostert produced yardage wise, but obviously a key lost fumble, which was huge for the second time in the last 3 games for this team. So that's crushing there. Jalen Wright, they started getting him involved some, but obviously a little bit less than the others. So he actually was lower than he has been, 3 yards per carry. But you're right, you're not concerned about the offensive line the way you have been in weeks past. You see this offense turning a corner now that you have Tua in there and getting back. I mean, he's back in a rhythm now. You saw that in this game. So second game back, he's truly back in a rhythm. He did mishandle 1 snap early in the game, but seemed like that wasn't a recurring issue from then on. After the whole bag of chips comment and everything, which I know fans didn't love to hear, but aside from that, very smooth game from him and the offensive line and the run game going, which I just missed another 150-yard game on the ground.
Saron Neal and Jordan Poyer, those guys are still playing for the Bills, bro.
I knew you were going to say that.
Like, what the fuck, dude? They were the 12th and 13th man on the field for the Bills. I mean, Saron Neal's celebrating a tackle of a player that made a first down. He loses Mac Hollins in the end zone for the touchdown, and then he has the stupid penalty. Poyer also has the stupid-ass penalty. These freaking guys are still playing for the Bills.
Yeah, and Poyer's penalty. I mean, you're not looking at it like I know you say it like tongue in cheek. What you're saying, or maybe you don't. But
no, I am saying it tongue in cheek. But I am pissed at how useless Poyer has been the entire season. And Saron Neal, my lord, there's a reason why he's a special teams player.
Yeah. Well, so
and who the hell celebrates a tackle of a player that made a first down, bro?
Yeah,
I saw that and I was like, bro, shut the hell up. That's like watching some guy, I made a first down. Bro, the scoreboard says 33-10. Who gives a shit about your first down? Your team has 10 points. Get your ass back in the huddle. Same thing with Saron Neal. I'm watching him like flex out or something on some stupid tackle, and it's like, bro, the guy made a first down on your ass. Get your ass back in the huddle.
Yeah, well, start with the Poyer penalty. Then, obviously, it's tough as a defender. You try to make an aggressive play, and sometimes it's football. It's happening quickly in front of you. I feel for these safeties sometimes, and yes, there was helmet to helmet contact. So, end of the day, the refs are going to throw the flag on that. And Poyer post game, he felt like he thought it was clean. Yeah, which with the helmets colliding, then I feel like it's a tough argument, but I understand where he's coming from, just because. That's basically all you could do in such a rapidly developing play where you have to go and break that up where they're in easier field goal range if they complete that pass. So you're going over there to break up the pass, and then it ends up happening where, hey, play that's occurring that quickly, helmets can collide. It's football. And then Saran Neal, he ends up in the game. Second half, he's rotating in with Cam Smith because first, obviously, you're playing without Kader Kohu and Storm Duck. So then Cam Smith is the one that's up as the third corner behind Jalen Ramsey and Kendall Fuller. And then Cam Smith has a couple of penalties in the first half. He's struggling out there. So then Saran Neal ends up going in on some packages, and Smith is coming off the field. And you never want to be in a position where Saran Neal has to defend, play defense. He's a special teams ace, and cornerback is just his position, which he's sort of like one of the last resorts in that regard. So then once you get into a position where without Kohu, without Duck, and then Cam Smith is messing up out there, then you get into a position where he's on the field, then sometimes that's what's going to happen.
Tanner Connor, bro. ¿Qué pinta ese tipo, bro? I'm seriously like, what is he doing on this? And, and the amazing part is he just filled in for the other screw up, Julian Hill, who's injured and out, which was a blessing because he probably would have helped out in screwing up this game. And then Tanner Connor, I'm still trying to figure out. Like Julian Hill, I know I see the talent. That I've been watching football long enough to know that kid's gifted, but I'd still put his ass on the bench. But Tanner Connor hasn't shown me anything whatsoever since he's been here for 3 years. And I'm still trying to figure out what this tight ends coach brings to the table, because it kind of reminds me of Mike McDaniel, that Tua really was carrying him and Jonnu Smith is carrying the tight ends coach also at the same time. But what is Tanner Connor and Julian Hill doing on this team, to be quite honest?
Yeah. Julian Hill, they love his blocking, how aggressive he is. Then I know I say blocking, and sometimes you see just how he'll miss badly in that aspect of the game. But they like
the other tight end did today, miss badly on a block also. Early in the game, Smythe got smoked on one too earlier in the game.
It's been a rough go for that unit. Smythe missing that one. Tanner Connor was actually in the game, and actually in some leverage situations at times they went to the package that includes him, and but obviously not really an impact on the game in any way. And obviously he was only up because Julian Hill was out. So, Jonnu Smith, we did see get involved some. So 5 catches, 46 yards for him.
Oh, yeah, terrific.
Yeah, right. He continues his play for that unit. But aside from that, I mean, Smythe also is just disappeared on this team.
Yeah, no, it's not like Gesicki's any useful. 5 receptions, 100 yards, and 2 touchdowns. Nah,
he scored 2. Okay, yeah, I saw like a notification that he had scored in the Bengals
5
game.
for 100.
5 for 1. Wow.
5 for 102 touchdowns. He's not just having a good game once in a while. No, he's having a good season now. It's turned into now for the Cincinnati Bengals, because they know how to use him. This guy doesn't. Like, he didn't even know how to use Jonnu early on, and then finally figured it out. He finally figured out how to use the running game and Jonnu Smith the last couple of weeks, which has been beautiful, by the way. But, man, it took him a long time, to do that. So, all right, trading deadline. Look, dude, big picture, I'm not expecting them to do anything. Even in the offseason, I think they'll do like a little tweak here or there in the coaching staff, maybe fire the special teams coach or something, and maybe a tweak in the roster. So I think they'll bring back McDaniel and Greer. Everybody will come back or whatever. That's what I think, because they're so spent on their cap with all the people they have already. They're really not going anywhere. But you tell me, maybe you think something different. Maybe you think there'll be big sellers. Maybe you think there'll be big changes. I know a lot of people want to see big changes. So what do you think? What's your gut telling you?
I don't see big changes. I see minor tweaks. I could see a situation where you go to some of these veterans on this team and ask, would you like to go to a team that is in a position to go compete in the playoffs? Because I think you do have to look at it realistically that you're 2-6 now, and you need a miraculous second half to make the playoffs. So if you're looking at a Calais Campbell, like, give him an option if he wants to go to somewhere, and he's playing great football and he's wasting away this year. I'd put it in his hands. Like, if you want to go to Teron Armstead, same thing.
He's earned that.
Yes.
By the way.
Yes.
Calais has earned that, and out of respect out of the organization, it'll suck to lose him because, like you said, but he's earned that. You should do that for him, man. If he wants to go, let him go, man.
Yeah, and I think there should be no hard feelings on this side, because he came here to compete for a Super Bowl, and it's not going that way. It's highly improbable. I know sometimes you get caught up in the season, and maybe a lot of guys are right. It's just
say it's over.
It's over instead of improbable. I'm not saying over until they're eliminated.
You were a dealer last week, still with the hopium, and I'm like, come on, bro, no hopium now. Let's go. It's over. That's it. Let's move on now. Let's talk about.
You're not taking the hopium after seeing the offense put up 27 at Buffalo?
I wasn't taking the hopium if they won here today. I said it in the pregame. I said it's not just about winning now. You have to then follow it up with several wins, because if you lose the next 2 out of 3 after you win here, it doesn't mean anything. You know what I'm saying? So I wasn't going to get too high about the win. I was going to be happy that they won. But oh my God, the season's turned around. No, I was never going to think that. That's crazy.
So they got 9 games left, and running the table gets you to the same record as you had last year. That got you the number 6 seed. And you wouldn't win the division with 11-6 either. The Bills obviously now have the tiebreaker. So, and they're not going to collapse to that point where they have a 4.5 game lead with the tiebreaker. So the best you can do is and that's winning out 9 games. It's just statistically almost impossible, but I'm not going to say over.
Oh, he dropped?
I lost you for a second there.
All right, what are you working
on?
I'm sorry, what are you working on the Sentinel so the listeners can check you out, my friend?
Sure. Covering the late Jordan Poyer penalty that proved costly in this game. Just wrapping up game coverage here, and then I'll be turning the page tomorrow, and then covering the trade deadline, of course, on Tuesday.
All right, good stuff. Follow him on Twitter at Furones _ and catch him doing his thing twice a week here with the Welt Rheaume P.A Dolphins report. And this week, actually, it'll be Tuesday and Friday, since we have a Monday night game. So
okay,
good stuff. Good
I'm
stuff.
with it.
And then the following week, there we go. It'll be a Monday and a Friday, a late Monday night. That'll be fun. That'll be fun. We'll be in LA. I'm looking forward to leaving to LA on Thursday morning, baby. Can't wait.
Okay, wow. Yeah, you're spending quite a while in LA.
I'm going to 4 concerts, bro. What do you think? I'm screwing around here? We're going to 4 concerts Thursday, Friday, Saturday, and Sunday, and then the game on Monday. And 2 broadcasts Saturday and Sunday with Dolphins at different bars. Because we'll be at John Phillips' place, the Smudge Pot, over on Saturday, and then we'll be at Sharky's on Sunday. So that'll be cool.
Okay. Much shorter trip for me. I'm in Sunday, leave Tuesday.
Yeah.
But third straight year the Dolphins go to LA. The Chargers last 2 years, and now back to SoFi for the Rams.
You got it. Randy's Donuts and In-N-Out Burger, baby. There you go.
Oh, yeah. Yeah. With Randy's Donuts, you can go right out of the airport.
That's right. That's right. And Roscoe's Chicken is right down the street from it too. So,
I have to try there. I have not been there.
You have not had the chicken and waffles at Roscoe's?
No. So this time.
That's an institution. You know that, right? Roscoe's?
Yes, I've heard of it. In a lot of references made to it. So
yeah, dude. No, you gotta have. Every time I go to LA, I have to have chicken and waffles at Roscoe's.
Okay.
It's so good, bro. That chicken,
high priority this time.
Oh, it's tender, and then the skin is like thin and crispy, and it just it's so good, man. So good. You got to check it out. You ever had Roscoe's there, Sean? Oh boy, he's gonna have Roscoe's. He's gonna love it. All right, buddy. I will catch you next week, my friend. Appreciate you.
Yes, sir. Sounds good.
You got it. There you go. David Furones, Welt Rheaume, Jeff Welt, Daniel Rheaume. Jeff was down, man. He was hoping that they would pull the victory off today. 954-966-4646. He's a big Dolphins fan, big Canes fan, so he's happy with the Canes being 9-0. Bankruptcy, homeowner property damage, condo damage, criminal defense, business owner claims, commercial litigation, personal injury. There are so many ways and so many things that they do. Please call the great people at Welt Rheaume. Jeff Welt, Daniel Rheaume, they are the ultimate tackles. They will protect you. They will make sure, and they did it for us, man. They went after Progressive and crushed them. And they can do it, and they've done it for a lot of our listeners in the state of Florida. And if you've been dealing with effects from Milton or Helene, please call Welt Rheaume, 954-966-4646. They have their own adjusters. So don't worry about calling the insurance company and their adjusters because they work for them. You call Welt Rheaume, and then they'll attack the insurance company. You'll never have to deal with it. It's a beautiful thing. No headaches for you. The only thing is you go pick up a check at the Welt Rheaume offices. 954-966-4646.
This is the Big O Show. This is the Big O Show.